buenos días y bienvenidos a todos. Good morning and welcome, everyone. Welcome to a community dedicated to providing spiritual tools for living a happy and full life. My name is Karina Shearer, and I am the spiritual director and founding minister here at the Center for Spiritual Living Puerto Vallarta. If you would like to join us for the live Zoom meeting, please contact me for the link and the password, or check on our website, www.cslpv.org, on the weekly talk section, and you'll find the link and the password there as well. Today is Sunday, July 2nd, 2023. So happy belated Canada Day to all my friends and family back home, and as well, happy 4th of July coming up this week for my American friends and family. So we are continuing with our annual theme, which is Living Out Loud. And the topic for this month of July is Speaking Truth to Circumstance. The topic for this week is Monsters Incorporated. One of the suggested books to read this month is by Mary O'Malley, What's in the Way is the Way. So once again, I'd like to truly welcome everyone, including those that are new to our teaching and to our center here in Puerto Vallarta. We welcome everyone. And we are a philosophy that honors and respects all faiths, all traditions, all paths. So no matter what path you are on, know that it is the right one for you. So as I mentioned, we teach a philosophy, and it's called the Science of Mind. It's a teaching based on new thought and ancient wisdom. We offer spiritual tools and principles to promote personal growth, and we honor diversity in all aspects so that we can see and appreciate the great oneness that already exists everywhere and within everyone. When Dr. Ernest Holmes, the founder of the teaching, was asked to provide a concise definition of the teaching, and he replied that it is a correlation of laws of science, opinions of philosophy, and revelations of religion applied to human needs and aspirations. Each week, we offer a service with an inspirational message, and we are meeting in person at noon on Calle Venezuela, number 232. Hang out with us after the service for some great conversation with like-minded people. And I'd like to offer you the opportunity to connect one-on-one for spiritual mind treatment to assist you with change or your emotions or whatever you're experiencing in life or would like to experience more of. Then connect with me for a one-on-one meeting, either via Zoom, in person, or via telephone. And if you would like to commit to being a member of the Center for Spiritual Living Puerto Vallarta for this current year, or if you'd like to be on our board of trustees, please contact me so that you can be sent the current application form. I'd also like to remind you to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and our Facebook page. And if you're interested in learning more about the Science of Mind teaching, we'll be offering new courses starting in September. So watch for those on our website and in our weekly announcements. We'll also have a few other interesting workshops offered later this year, possibly even during this summer. So connect with me or check our website again for further information. And let me know if there's another specific course, a workshop, or a book study that you would be interested in taking so that we can plan for dates for those as well. And so now let's together review our purpose, vision, and mission statements. We have a grand purpose here each week, and that is to awaken and celebrate diversity and to love and serve our community. We do this by means of our vision, creating the life you desire. And this is supported by our mission, which is to provide spiritual tools for personal growth and transformation. You can find these as well as further information on each one of them on our website as well. So Monster Incorporated. Turn the mean monsters into friends. Those out there, or that out there, has no power unless you give it power. Truth replaces the hold of circumstances like light replaces darkness. So this is a reboot of the phrase, speaking truth to power. Spirit is the only power. What people really mean when they use the phrase speaking truth to power is speaking to control our circumstances. Circumstances are never the truth. So we begin by looking them in the face as those monsters that they seem to be. But like the movie Monsters Incorporated, they are not what they seem. Next week, we'll look at how we have accepted the media and cultural conditionings or being hypnotized so that we can free ourselves from the reaction into authentic action. In the third week, we'll discuss standing in truth, as Shiva did by throwing himself under the crazed or blood-crazed Kali to bring her back to center. And in the last week, we'll look at being an authentic, spirit-centered, or what spiritual warrior means. And for the final and fifth week of the month, we'll take a look at the little side trip and listen to the standing stones. So power is a word that triggers many reactions in people, but there's really only one power, and there's no need to speak truth to that power because truth and power are one and the same in the spiritual realm. And what we're really facing is the smoke and mirrors of circumstance and fear-based attempts at controlling or masquerading as power. Those fears and monsters crumble in the face of truth. So here's a quote from Ernest Holmes. He said, "Peace comes from the absence of fear, from a consciousness of trust, from a deep underlying faith in the absolute goodness and mercy, the final integrity of the universe in which we live, and of every cause to which we give our thought, our time, and our attention." So despite appearances, nothing is greater than the infinite presence. Ernest Holmes said, "One alone in consciousness with the infinite constitutes a complete majority." When we attempt to fight outside circumstances, we only give those circumstances power in our mind. The practitioner does not fight evil. They know there is no evil, says Ernest Holmes. When we engage in fighting with that outer, We are caught up in the belief in separation and have lost faith in the infinite oneness. This doesn't mean we sit on our prayer chairs and do nothing. It means we first gain the high perspective so that we can be the most effective in our actions. Ernest Holmes said this: "The answer to every question is within man." So the phrase "speaking truth to power" is often used to indicate a commitment to standing up to those we perceive as more powerful than us. In truth, no one is more or less powerful than us. We are equally the infinite in expression. The only difference is a level of awareness. But in our minds, we build certain people and organizations into monsters. And in so doing, we give them a power which isn't real. We give away our own power, which is actually impossible to do, as we are always spirit in form. But we can certainly feel powerless. In reality, people who seem powerful are no more or no less spirit than we are. Organizations that seem powerful and immovable are made up of individual people who, again, are spirit in form. Infinite spirit is always and everywhere present. As in the movie Monsters Incorporated, the monsters turned out to be not really monsters, and in fact, became helpful. What this phrase often addresses is control rather than power. We confuse power with control. Power is simply the ability to get things done. And we hear phrases like, power tends to corrupt. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Yet, since the only real power in the universe is spirit, that phrase would imply a corrupt infinite, and that is not the truth. So here's an interesting and somewhat funny story. A mother passed by her daughter's bedroom and was astonished to see the bed was nicely made and everything was picked up. Then she saw an envelope propped up prominently on the center of the bed. It was addressed, Mom. With the worst premonition, she opened the envelope and read the letter with trembling hands. It said, Dear Mom, it is with great regret and sorrow that I'm writing you. I had to elope with my new boyfriend because I wanted to avoid a scene with you and Dad. I've been finding real passion with John, and he is so nice, even with all his piercings, tattoos, beard, and his motorcycle clothes. But it's not only the passion, Mom, but I'm also pregnant. And John said that we would be very happy. He already owns a trailer in the woods with a stack of firewood for the whole winter. And he wants to have more children with me. And that's now one of my dreams too. John taught me how to grow marijuana and that it doesn't really hurt anyone. And we'll be growing it for us and trading it with his friends for other things we need. In the meantime, we'll pray that science will find a cure for AIDS so John can get better. He deserves it. Don't worry, Mom. I'm 15 years old now, and I know how to take care of myself. Someday, I'm sure we'll be back to visit you so you can know your grandchildren. Your daughter, Katie. P.S. Mom, none of the above is true. I'm over at the neighbor's house. I just wanted to remind you that there are worse things in life than my report card, which is in my desk drawer. I love you. When it's safe for me to come home, call me. Well, talk about putting off your fears until later. This bit of humor surely took the edge off of Katie and gave her some time to analyze her fear of her confrontation with her parents. Here's another quote from the Science of Mind. Intuitively, we sense that every man in his native state is some part or manifestation of this eternal principle, and that the entire problem of limitation, evil, suffering, and uncertainty is the result of ignorance. So really, Katie only believed in her own mind that there would be a confrontation about her report card. She was afraid to face them. But was that fear really justified? So identify and understand your fears. The time to understand their underlying causes and reflect on how these impact your life and the areas where you feel they hold you back or limit your potential for growth. Once you have a clear understanding of your fears, break them down into smaller, actionable goals. What steps can you take to address each fear individually? Educate yourself. Knowledge is essential in creating change. Seek our diverse perspectives and challenge your existing beliefs. Understanding the root cause of the issue empowers you to take informed action. Change often requires stepping outside of your comfort zone. So push yourself gently but consistently, gradually expanding your comfort zone to build resilience and confidence. And don't be afraid to ask for support along your journey of change. Reach out to friends, family, or mentors who can provide guidance and encouragement. One mentor might be a spiritual mind practitioner or your minister. Dealing with your biggest fears can be emotionally and mentally challenging. So it's crucial to prioritize your self-care and self-compassion throughout this process. Engage in activities that nourish your well-being, such as exercise, mindfulness, journaling, or spending time in nature. As you gain confidence and understanding, start taking meaningful action to create change. Use your knowledge, skills, and resources to contribute to the cause or issue that aligns with your fears, such as volunteering, advocating for policy change, support relevant organizations, or initiate conversations within your own community. Realize that this process may take time. Setbacks might occur, and progress might seem gradual, but stay committed, resilient, and adaptable in your approach. And celebrate your milestones. Also, reevaluate your goals and strategies as needed. And remember, creating change by dealing with your biggest fears is not only about addressing personal growth, but also about making a positive impact on the world around you. By facing and overcoming your fears, you inspire others to do the same and create a ripple effect of change in society. Brian McLaren said, "That person you call your enemy, that person is part of your family, part of your species, part of your story, part of your kind." So be kind to one another. Once we are alone in consciousness with the infinite, we are tapped into that power greater than we are. And we may not know the how of creating a better world, but it's not ours to know. We declare the what. We align with the nature of the divine: life, love, light, wisdom, power, peace, beauty, and joy, and become willing to let it express through us. Most heroes' journey stories state that when the hero comes to their own true nature, their unity with the one, all that has opposed them is swept before them. Often, our first response to wounding our outrageous circumstances is fight, flight, freeze. But if we want to create real change, we must unwind those conditioned patterns. We must add a fourth: tune within. Not as in hiding, but as in tuning in to the infinite power within. We know what is life enhancing and what is not. As people committed to creating a world that works for all, we commit to taking a stand for life enhancing. And since spirit is the ultimate source and first cause of life, we turn to that spirit for guidance. Then we act and live from that guidance. Deepak Chopra said this: most of us have become bundles of conditioned reflexes that are constantly being triggered by people and circumstances into predictable outcomes of behavior. So that which seems like monsters, whether it be people, organizations, or circumstances, are not as real as they appear. They are our fears, false evidence appearing real. When looked at through the mind of the infinite, it's all smoke and mirrors. Nothing is as real and solid as it seems. Like monsters, they can make a lot of noise, huffing and puffing and even blowing down a house. But a house built on the solid foundation of spirit cannot be blown down by bullies. Oh, the form may go, but the real substance of spirit of eternal life cannot be blown down. We don't have to stand in opposition to people. They are our brothers and sisters too. And what we know is that within every individual is a spark of life, the spark of love. When we can get past our fears and theirs, as insurmountable as that may seem, we can find a way to create the world that works for all. When we turn to the truth of the power within, we can speak truth to circumstances, and the monsters will transform as we do. And I'll leave you with this quote: if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And that brings us for our affirmation for the week. I align with true power and let her rip. And so now it's our time for mindfully giving back where we are spiritually fed. Donations are gratefully received through PayPal or Tithely on our website, www.cslpv.org. You'll see the donate buttons on both the landing page as well as on the top of the page where you see the replays of the talks. Or if you still like to write out a paper check, you can do so by addressing and mailing it to CSLPV, number 403, 2125 Birch Road, Kelowna, BC, V1Y8M1. And now, if you would like to join me in our offertory affirmation. I know that my giving blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I give and receive. I do give eternal thanks for the abundance that is mine to share. So thank you for coming and sharing this time together. And let's continue with practicing peace. We can each be a force for peace and nonviolence. Our words and our actions create ripples of peace all around us and beyond. Peaceful living includes acting with compassion, kindness, and consideration. And it also includes standing up against injustice. May peace and love be with you. Blessings to all. Namaste.